on voicemail, mind you, before hanging up and thinking to myself, was that the right thing to do? I was 18, 19, I went, it felt right. It felt like that's what I was supposed to do, but was that the most professional way to conduct myself on a first engagement with somebody? So my journey with Fusion Sport actually started with a recruiting agency. I was surfing the web for jobs. I saw that there was a job for a sports technology company. And the funny thing about it was that that job was 2 weeks old. It was 2 weeks out of date. Either somebody had forgotten to take it down or they hadn't found the right candidate yet and they still kept the job up. So I picked up the phone straight away and I pretty much gave this person a sales pitch. It was like a 20-second sales pitch on voicemail, mind you, before hanging up and thinking to myself, was that the right thing to do? It felt right. It felt like that's what I was supposed to do, but was that the most professional way to conduct myself on a first engagement with somebody? So I sat there and I mulled over it, went to work or whatever it was, and I got home and went, you know, I'm going to call him again. 6 hours later, I actually called this gentleman up again. I got his receptionist. His receptionist says, "Oh, James, Gavin was very impressed with your voicemail. He's going to give you a call back." I thought, okay, well, I've done something right here. I managed to get a call back with the recruiter, and then the next day, I had an interview with my now mentor and peer, Jose Galindo from Fusion Sport. So now I'm looking at Fusion Sport in the eye, and I was then explained to that they were quite far through on their recruiting process. And some people had gone through the third round, some people had gone into second round. And as much as I was a late candidate, they were quite impressed with the experience that I have had in the industry. Quite rare to have a couple of years of sports technology experience at that age. So they were quite interested just to at least sit down and meet me. And the one thing that I remember from that first interview with Jose was the challenge that was set from him. And it was this weird moment where he kind of slowly picks up the Smart Speed PT unit, one of our electronic timing gates and one of our products, and he looks at me and says, "I want you to learn this back to front, head to toe. I want you to learn the ins and the outs, the software, the hardware, and I want you to come back to me. I want you to teach me how to use this and give a presentation like you would if you were working for us for a client. So I want you to treat me as your client, teach me how to use this thing, and I also want you to teach head of product and the head of HR. They'll all be in the room ready for this training presentation that you're going to deliver us." I thought, okay, how much time do I have? He said, well, I'm going on business in 2 days. I'll be away for a week. That means that the quickest we can come back and reconvene is 9 days. Everyone else has had 14 days to learn this, but I don't know how fast HR wants to move on this. It would be nice if I could see you again in 2 days. And I thought, okay. And my answer was, I'll see you in 2 days. And basically from there, I just dropped everything. I postponed all my appointments, my schedule, whatever I had on. And I learned this thing back to front, inside out, as was the job. I went in, delivered the interview, and ultimately ended up getting the job. Now, when I look back, it was a culmination of a couple of things, but mainly what it was a choice. There was a number of choices in there. There was an opportunity there, and it was either a choice to wait for the recruiter to answer back to an email, or the recruiter to answer back to my phone call, or for me to wait until I'd learnt the system enough and waited 9 days to then be able to properly present to Jose and the crew at Fusion. Or it was the choice to give them what they wanted, which was a tight time frame, learn it, come in and nail it, and come in and nail it with enthusiasm and passion and all of that. I think it's quite scary at this age when you're starting to get some choices in life, whether to go left or whether to go right. And what that experience taught me was whichever way I chose, I had to give it absolute 100% and seize the opportunity that was in front of me. So that was, looking back, what that experience told me was to pick a lane and absolutely go 100 mile an hour. Don't look back. I chose 2 days to present it, and I went 100 mile an hour to present that properly and in totality in 2 days. So that was the learning from that experience. If you liked that video about my hiring experience, I think you might enjoy the video that I did about speaking and dealing with different colleagues, especially those that are senior and more experienced with you. Some of the trials and tribulations that I've had and some of the experiences that I have endured. I think you might like it. It's about here. So I will see you once you click on that video there.